My kids have won an all-expense paid trip to VidCon. Whoosh. And by that, of course, I mean that I am taking them to VidCon because they don't have any money. It is Sunday, June 11th. Happy Sunday to you. No vlog yesterday on Saturday, or Catterday as it were. It was kind of a weird day yesterday. I was extremely tired from my trip last week. Short trips and I bop around to different places really tend to get me kind of tired. So yesterday was kind of a crash out, relaxed day. Ended up going across the street to our neighbor's house last night for a backyard barbecue kind of a thing, and just hanging out with them, having some fun across the street. Today has been sort of a lazy day, errand running, those kind of things, and then we're gonna probably gather together as a family here in the next hour or so and start binge watching some more Blacklist, with the planned event of stopping that at around 8:30 or 9 to watch a happy, clear the mind show afterwards to help get all that stuff out of the brain. They watched a bunch of Blacklist after I got back in town. Kate did have a few nightmares, a little violent, a little overstimulated, so she was a little bit upset on Friday night over the night, so we kind of wanted to scale it back a little bit and not make it so dramatic. Well, this thing, I got this, and I've had a few of these before. Let me see if I can do this the right way. This is a thing from 3M that you put on your computer screen, and it helps for security, helping you block out things so people can't see what you're doing on your computer screen. And I just got this last week. I haven't really played with it very much. I've had the gold edition of this before, and that was kind of cool, but it throws off kind of very much of a hey, look at me type thing for the screen. But this one's pretty neat. This one's the darker one, which I think was the original style of these things anyway. It's for the MacBook Pro 15-inch 2016 edition, which I just got this. It's called the Traveler Pack. It's a two-pack. Not to be confused with the wrapper two-pack. This is not the same two-pack. This is a two-package, not two-pack. And the other item that came with it, I'm not going to open it right now, is just a clear version of the same thing. And I don't really know what the usage of this is, but I also haven't taken a lot of time to read through the instructions. This item did come with several mounting strips that you can mount this onto your MacBook screen, and it also came with some instructions in about 34 languages right here. And I also get a free screen. I get a free screen thing from my phone. I can't show you the code there because I've already used the code, on that. And that's pretty much it from this 3M thing. I did have somebody ask me the other day a little bit about, I believe this is through a text message or an email, I don't recall which, so sorry about that. But somebody did ask me what I do with all my video footage. I do obviously shoot a lot more video than I upload. I don't upload the entire cut because I might run 18 to 20 some odd minutes of content, but only air anywhere from 5 to 10 or 12 minutes of the video. But that being said, I did get one of these items here to do backups. It's a machine, it's from Lacey, or LaCie, can I pencil you ask? And sorry, I've got this kind of jacked on my focusing. But this is a 4 terabyte, yeah, we'll go with 4. It's a 4 terabyte backup drive that comes with different cables and adapters. This one's for my iMac, which is a USB, traditional USB. And I also got another adapter for this for USB-C because my MacBook Pro, my new one, is a 2016 model, which is the one that's only USB all the way around. Anyway, so I have 4 terabytes of backup on this. My iMac, my big computer right here that I do most of my editing on, has a 3 terabyte drive, but I have less than 1 terabyte left. So I'm moving most of my pictures and videos off of my iMac onto here, and my MacBook Pro, my both MacBook Pros, my old one, my 2011 and my 2016, both have a terabyte of SSD or solid state drive capacity on them. If you don't know what SSD means, SSD basically is, you know how memory card works? You know how these little memory cards type things work, like it's in my camera and this type of deal? This is called solid state drive. There's no moving parts in this. And on my hard drive for both my MacBooks, those are both SSD drives, so there is no moving parts in the hard drive. They work like a thumb drive. It's a massive thumb drive. My iMac is called a Fusion drive, and the Fusion drive means that a portion of the drive is set up as a traditional hard drive with the spinning plates and whatnot, and the other side of the drive is solid state. And what it's supposed to do is move items off and on the drive as I use them, and the more frequently used items get moved to the SSD for faster and more rapid access, and the items that I use less are put onto the Fusion or the traditional drive of the machine to not take up that more precious real estate on the front of the drive where it's all solid state, and it's a faster interaction between the computer and the drive. Techie stuff. This is not intended to be a tech deal. As a matter of fact, I'll shatter that right now, and I'll show you my other favorite thing in the whole wide world. This is my TONI&GUY bed head for men TG beard comb. And you basically take this, and it's got a fine tooth setting over here, and it's got a more coarse tooth, a looser tooth setting over here. If your beard is like really long and kind of jacked, you'd use this side first, and you can do your facial grooming with this, and then you can flip it over to the more fine side, and then do some finer brushing and such of your beard or mustache or goatee or whatever. Really kind of cool. It's kind of a woodish type acrylic. I don't really know what the composite material of this is. It looks to be wood, but I don't think it is. But really cool. So thank you TONI&GUY and TG for the bedhead men's doo-wop thing. I love it and I use it frequently. And on my Instagram account, which is linked below, I did have a series of photos in there from a couple of weeks ago when I actually got this device from my daughter, who took it upon herself to groom me. Yeah, she groomed me. Other than that, I did have one more piece of low technology to share with you, and this is something that I bought probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it's called a spider. And this guy is super cool. It is an 8-armed metallic bendable but rubberized unit that you can make in any kind of configuration. You can take these apart and tie them on to different things. Like if you have a vehicle that you want to watch an iPad in, or on the back of an airplane seat, you can take these two middle ones, loop it around the hook, you can hook them around the seat, and then have the iPad or whatever held in here and set up on top of behind the chair. I use it on my desk as an iPad stand over here. When I do use, occasionally I use my iPad in here my chair lost a wheel. I will occasionally use the spider for an external monitor for my iMac or my MacBook with an app called Duet, D-U-E-T. Duet's super cool. They're not sponsoring this video in any way, shape, or form. I bought the app 2 years ago, I guess. And I got it on special. I think I got it for like $10. I think right now it's $19.99 or whatever from the Apple Store, iTunes Store. It works for both iOS and for Windows, I believe, with an iPad. So you actually just use the iPad sync cable that you would use if you're backing up your iPad, hook it into your computer or device, and then launch the Duet app on the iPad and then on your desktop or laptop, and it extends your desktop over to your iPad. You can tell which side of the computer you want it to be on, all this kind of good stuff. One pretty neat thing about the Duet app and the iPad is if you're using the newest version of the MacBook Pro, which has the LED touch bar on it, like my machine has, and you use the Duet app and the iPad, it will send that bar from your computer, that LED bar, or LCD bar rather, to your iPad, which now adds that additional functionality to your iPad. Really pretty cool. I have not fully embraced the full capacity of the new MacBook Pro touchscreen. I learned most of the stuff that I do on Mac on the traditional keyboard, which is, you know, kind of like this type of keyboard for my iMac with all the different function keys and everything like that. And the new iMac replaces that whole top function bar with a soft key, and it, whatever app you're in or whatever program you're in, it will load in different icons and things for you to use with touch control, and you can actually touch and move multiple things at once. It allows multi-touch, which is kind of cool. But when I'm editing videos, for example, I use the B key a lot, B as in boy, and I use the A key a lot in my video editing. The B is for blade, which is where you cut different pieces of the video, and then the A key changes from the blade back to the selector for the editing program. So you can go blade, cut, 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 then use A and select, 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 and then delete the clips that you don't need anymore to kind of fill in some of that dead space in these videos, which I've already had a couple of these, I'm sure. And then I also use a Q button, and when you put your playhead over to where you want to be in your edit, your video edit, and you put your playhead at a very certain spot, you hit the Q button, the Q key, and if you're in the title section or looking at a photo, you can have a photo highlighted in your project. You hit the Q button and it brings that photo in right at where the playhead is, and then from there you can resize or move the photo around as you need. Kind of cool. The touchscreen does all these activities for you with a single touch, but what I haven't gotten used to yet, and it's a tiny bit clunky, is you have to wake up the bar, so to speak. You have to hit this one section of the bar over in the corner to wake up the bar and have it spread across to pick the item you want, and they're all graphically shown. Like the blade is literally like a razor blade on its side, and the A key is a selector key, and this, that, and the other. And it takes a little bit getting used to, and I just kind of had myself in a habit of using my mouse with my right hand or touchpad with my right hand to find what I want to do, and then just kind of keep my fingers on the B and the A. And I would B for something, then A for something, to kind of move back and forth from blade and select, and then just scroll my finger up and hit delete. I'm just as fast with the keyboard. I'm actually probably faster with the keyboard than I am with the soft touch keys from the LED pad, but it was an LCD pad. I forget. The touchscreen on the MacBook Pro. So I really, if I had learned Final Cut Pro with the new MacBook Pro, then I probably would have been using the touchscreen much more, because it is very, very useful. And the shortcuts are kind of built in. You don't have to remember that the B key is for blade, and the Q key does this and the other. It's graphical. So there is that advantage, but I started off prior to using that device, editing videos. So I still tend to be a bit of a keyboard guy. Anyway, as I said, this was not meant to be a tech video, but somehow just, we kind of got there. Tech and of course, beard comb, beard brush. Actually quite nice. If you want one of these, stop into your local Tony and Guy salon, link below, and ask them for a beard brush. They got them there, maybe. This is really quite nice. Would it be really obnoxious to have like an enormously long video, 30 minutes of just me brushing my beard? Just see if I can. Yeah. That's about it. A long video chock full of nothing for your pleasure, viewing pleasure. So if you're a creator or a viewer and you are going to VidCon this month, we leave a week from Tuesday for Los Angeles. If you're gonna be at VidCon, let me know below. I haven't gone through the entire listing of events and schedule, but I have gone through and picked a number of sessions I think would be kind of fun for us as a family to go to, such as a family creation type thing. There's a one for girls or women in video, which I think would be great for my girls because I have daughters. and other types of things like that. We do have several holes in our schedule and are planning to go to Disneyland for the VidCon day, which is going to be on Sunday, 2 weeks from today. If you're going to be at VidCon, let me know. Comment below. Would love to say hi, meet some creators, meet some fans, meet some people going out there. I'm sure it's going to be a very, very fun, busy, loud thing, but looking forward to it. Hopefully my kids and I will have fun at the event. That's all for now. Thanks as always for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. Any comments you have, please leave them for me below, and I do thank you. Have a great weekend and have a great day. Bye.